what we want to do is then talk through the demo, or give you a demo, just an overview of the software, and make sure that you're able to use it. You know where all the buttons and the features and the graphics are and everything, and then obviously do some Q&A. Okay. We will record this. Okay, so it will go up in the members area, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Bertrand has put together some slides, so he's going to be doing a lot of the talking, and and I'll sort of manage the slides, as it were. Okay, so
Sure.
your so it should be fine, and by all means, try and hold on to your questions towards the end. Okay, unless you can't hear us or something like that, then we'll try our best to manage that. If you are on your own, if suddenly everything conks out, then just type in the chat box, and chances are it might be just you. And if that happens, I'll let you know. And the best thing to do is just to drop out and then reconnect. That sometimes happens with GoToWebinar. Okay, guys, so you should all be able to see the screen. And it says right now Instant Infographics Presence with a picture of myself and Bertrando. Okay, so hopefully you can all see that. Let me know, type in yes, Paul. Let's just make sure you can all see the screen, otherwise it's going to be a pretty blank presentation. Brilliant, lots of yeses, fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, for many of you, you probably don't know who I am, so let me just quickly do that before I hand over to Bertrand. So there's a really ugly picture of me, sort of mid-sentence, and just to give you a bit of background, so I was in the corporate world as what they call a chief technology officer for many years, and involved in sort of building startups, software startups. And after a while, although I really enjoyed the job, I wanted to do it for myself, and so I left my last company and started a software company called Page One Traffic, and started building sort of desktop apps for people like yourself to help you get more traffic to your websites. And in that, there's a handful of logos there, which show you some of the products which I put out. But in total, we got something like 17 products out there. And they all sell very well. They're all updated. We always bring out version 2s and so on. And today we've got over sort of 16,000 customers. So that's sort of my story. What I'm going to do is just hand over a bit to Bertrand and let him take over. Here you go, Bertrand.
Okay, Paul. So thanks a lot for introducing this webinar. So I'm just gonna tell you a little word about myself in case you don't know me. So my name is Bertrand. I'm French, as you can imagine. I kind of started my online career back in 2006, and then I tried various things, and it didn't really work out. And then in 2011, I got a job at Google, and I really started focusing on building a business. And fast forward to 2013, which is now, I kind of run a software company, a bit like Paul, which is called YMB Properties. And we have various graphics softwares like Instant Infographics Presence. We have softwares for headers, ebooks, banners, Facebook covers, and YouTube covers, and so on. And so I guess that's enough talking about us. So let's get right into the topic and start the webinar. So Paul, if you want to move on to the next slide so that we can introduce the topic. Right, so in this presentation, we're going to look at, the first question is why should you care and why should you use infographics, I guess, because some people, might not be that familiar with this new form of marketing. Then we're going to look at the different types of infographics. So, like what kind of infographics you can create, and this will give you some ideas, for yourself and your own niches. Then we're going to look at the different styles of infographics because there's different formats and different ways to display your content. Then we're going to go into how to. So this is our 4 steps to create infographics. Then we might go into a product demo, and we'll take your questions and answer them at the end. Right, so let's move on to the next slides. Okay, so the first question you might want to, you might be asking yourself is why infographics? Well, the main reason I would say is that infographics is kind of a rising trend in marketing. About, let's say, 3 to 4 years ago, nobody had kind of heard of them or used infographics. Back at the time, I don't know if you remember, if you used to be a marketer from 2009, 2010, the rage was article marketing. Like everyone used to post articles on places like Go Articles, and then YouTube come along, and it kind of shifted to video marketing. And slowly but steadily, infographics have been kind of overtaking articles and videos as the kind of content that people like to share online. And so it's a very good way to drive traffic. The principle of content marketing is still the same. Like, you create content to deliver value to your audience, and because you're giving away value, then you get traffic or shares or sales in return. And another reason why infographics are a great way to market online is kind of because they are more shared than articles and videos on average. They are also a fun way to represent information. They are really visual, and I think that a lot of people can relate to infographics really easily. And
Hey,
it does
Bertrand.
take a bit more work to create a.
Bertrand.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
Just for a second, mate.
Yeah,
Your
yeah, go on.
audio is going really bad. I'm not sure whether it's
You mean?
GoToWebinar playing up. Um, Probably just make sure you got nothing else using any bandwidth, because it's
Let
really
me
difficult to make
double
it out. And I think
check.
a lot of
Yeah.
people I can see in the chat box are struggling a bit
Okay.
to hear.
Okay. Yeah. Let me.
So shut down any email especially, and Skype.
Okay. Let me close Dropbox. I think that might be the reason. I have some stuff sharing on Dropbox. Is that better now? Is it better now for everyone?
It's still not brilliant. Anything else? Tim saying turn off uTorrent. Haha.
No. Yeah.
No.
uTorrent is gone. Skype is gone. I got Sharpie and muffled. Not yet.
That,
Let me see if I have. Okay, okay. Let me turn everything off. So I have this. How is air display
apparently
ever mode?
I'm coming through okay, and yet I'm in a little
Yeah,
cafe on the main highway
yeah,
in San Diego. Um,
yeah. And I'm at home with a very supposedly good connection, so that's pretty hard. Yeah, I turned off pretty much everything now. I don't have anything left. Really.
okay,
Is it better now?
I think it is
Or
a
is
little bit better actually. Just maybe talk louder as well, and
sounds
let's.
better? Okay, Sharon is saying it sounds better.
That sounds
Good to
better.
go.
That sounds
Okay,
better. What have
okay,
you done?
good, good.
Let's go.
Okay, cool. Well, I turned everything off. All right, cool. So, okay, so let's get back into why infographics, right? So I was saying that infographics are kind of a rising trend in marketing. Like, if you remember back in 2010, 2009, everyone was using articles to market online, using sites like Go Articles and so on. And then videos came along with YouTube. And then infographics kind of really took over the past 2 years. You can see from the chart here that there is a very sharp rise in the way infographics are searched online for the past 2 to 3 years. The second reason why infographics are a great way to market your content online is that I think they are kind of a really fun way to represent information. It's a lot more entertaining to go through an infographic, so to consume an infographic, than to actually read an article or listen to a long video. And another thing I wanted to mention is that infographics do take a bit more work than article or videos, I think, but they tend to get a lot more results because they are great pieces of content. So let's move on to the next slide, Paul, if you will. Okay, so here are some more data into why infographics are a great way to share content. And this is more about like kind of human biology. So pretty much 90% of the information we absorb on a daily basis is visual. So, you know, it really kind of talks to people. And most of us are visual learners. I found this stat that say that 65% of people are actually visual learners. So it's actually much easier for most people to consume infographics. Let's move to the next slide, Paul, please. And finally, according to a lot of different studies and case studies on infographics, they actually get a lot more share than other forms of content like articles and video and so on. I personally, I have never seen an infographics with zero shares. You know, they usually get a few hundreds to a few thousands to hundreds of thousands of shares. And I can't say the same for articles. So they work very well, especially with social media. And because if you think about it, social media is not so well suited for articles and so on. That it's more suited for images and videos, but infographics do really well on social media, as you can see from the stats, from some of the stats here.
I think
So let's
the
move
other
on
thing,
to the
but
next slide now, Paul.
Bertrand, just to say, I think the other thing with infographics
Yeah,
is, you know, if you put your brand, you know, on the infographic, your domain name, um,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
you know, the traffic that you get is long term traffic, you know, because it keeps getting shared. So obviously you'll get a spike initially, but it
yeah,
lasts for quite a while. Okay, it's not, you know, it's not like just a viral image which just grows massively and then disappears quite quickly.
mm,
Infographics are a bit more sustained, and the other thing
yeah,
is that they establish you more as an authority. Yeah, so you know
yeah,
they make you look like more of a grown-up company. You know, if you're putting
exactly.
together you know, an image that's representing statistics in your niche, then you'll be seen as more of an expert in your niche. Okay, so you know, that's a lot of the reasons for doing this, and you know, and why a lot of people don't do them because it is a little bit more work. It's not like just bashing out an article, you know, as
Yeah.
Bertrand said earlier. Okay, it's, you know, it does require a bit of research, it does require a bit more work, but the long term benefits, you know, are really really valuable. Okay, all right, Bertrand.
Yeah, 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 indeed. And you had a very good point about how it can help you build your brand authority. There's actually a lot of influencers in various marketplaces who have used infographics to kind of build themselves as the authority in the niche. So yeah, that's definitely a very good point. So let's go. Let's get on to the next slide.
And Bertrand, if you keep your voice level up, yeah, just so that we can get it to. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move my mic a bit closer. All right, so now let's look into the different types of infographics. And the first type I can think of are educational infographics. And this is kind of like a how-to article. Okay, so it would be like a how-to infographics. They usually work very good. You can do auto infographics in virtually any niche. You know, I mean, if you're in the internet marketing niche, you can do something like how to build a list, or you know, how to manage your outsourcers, how to create a product. So it's really kind of lends itself to a lot of different topics. You can see on the screen a couple of examples. One of this example was how to wear your backpack, for instance. So someone created some images to help people with that. how to tag a knot. There's just a lot of things you can do with how-to infographics. And the great thing about them as well is that this kind of educational information is already available online. I mean, there are literally millions of how-to articles, and you can build on that to create your infographics. So you can turn a pretty much an old topic into a brand new form of content by, turning an article or a PDF into an infographic. And that would be the first type of infographics that we can think of. Let's move on to the next slide, if you will, Paul. And we'll look into the second type. So the second type of infographics you can think of is like kind of timeline infographics. And these are used pretty much to show the growth or the evolution of a particular subject, whether it's a company, it could be a product, or it could even be like general history. So there's a lot of timelines about, for instance, the growth of Facebook or the growth of YouTube. Um, there's an example on the right here, which is kind of a timeline about like human history, and so it kind of lends itself as well to a lot of topics. And well, the idea here is to kind of give you some inspiration for your own in your own niche. So you could think of these and try to see what kind of timeline, what kind of history is there in my niche that I could take and apply to an infographic. For instance, I can think of a couple of other examples. You can do, if you're in kind of like the Amazon niche, and maybe, you sell like you're an Amazon affiliate and you sell TVs on your website. You could do something like a timeline of the history of televisions. So you could go back, for the past like 70, 80 years or so, and start with the old school televisions from the 40s, the 1940s, and back to and all the way up to 2013, and the big flat screen TVs. So that could be an idea. You could also do something like the history of Apple, and also from the Macintosh, back in the late 70s, early 80s, to the MacBook Air. So again, I think timeline and kind of historical infographics are a very great way to talk about content in your niche. So let's move on to the next type of infographics we have selected. Okay, so the next type are versus infographics, and these are very cool. It kind of pits two opposing sides against each other. They are very entertaining infographics. So it's kind of like a boxing match. You tend to side with one side or the other. And I found this great infographics, which is Xbox One versus PS4. And if you heard about it, there was quite a big buzz when Microsoft announced the Xbox One back a couple of months ago, and Sony announced the PS4 at the same time. So that's a great way to, kind of show, the pros and cons of each side, of a product. So again, good example of the type of infographics that you could create in your niche.
And I think Bertrand,
Yeah, Paul?
the the other thing about verses, anything controversial
Yeah,
gets shared a lot more. So it always helps,
yeah,
putting two sides to an argument, because you'll be dealing with both audiences then. People love a bit of controversy, and so if you can ever find things like that, then really do go for it, because it's really really
yeah.
really interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, especially on social network, it will probably lead to a lot of very heated comments and discussions, around your infographics. So that's a very good point, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. Back to you again.
Okay, so the other type we could think of was kind of like timely infographics. And That means that it's basically when you create an infographics in response to a particular event. So for instance, during the last US election, you could have like created an infographics on Obama versus Romney. That kind of would have worked very well because when a topic is very popular, it's very easy to capitalize on it, by creating a very timely and topical infographic. So the point here is that if there is an event in your niche that you can think of, you should really always try to capitalize on it and to create maybe a relevant infographic. You could also use like things like public holidays, for your infographics. So for instance, when Halloween comes up, if you could work something that works with infographics and Halloween and your niche, well, that would be a hit. Same thing for Christmas or any major event throughout the year. And yeah, let's move into the last type, I guess. Okay, so other types includes like celebrities infographics. So these work pretty well as well, simply because there are a lot of fans of celebrities out there. So if you did something like, and we could combine the verses and the celebrities. So let's say, you have something like Britney Spears versus Lady Gaga, that would probably get shared a lot simply because there's already a lot of traffic in these niches. If you can see in the bottom right, there's an infographics called "If Cars Were Celebrities," and I think that's a great way, to tie in, a niche with celebrities, in a pretty smart way. And yeah, that's pretty much the kind of popular types of infographics you can find. So educational, there's the timeline infographics, there's the versus, timely infographics, and things like celebrities and so on. So with these four types, I guess, of infographics, you could probably get started and maybe brainstorm and see if there is a way to use those in your chosen niche. So let's move on to the styles, Paul, please. Okay, so this is just a rough idea of the different styles you can come across, and I'm gonna give you some websites where you can get inspiration from in a second. But basically, there's a few like common styles. So the timeline, we kind of talked about it before. So you would have something like a dotted line going from the top to the bottom. A very easy one to create are list infographics. You should see it. It's in the bottom, right in the middle. And I'll probably show you one of these in the demo later on. So a list infographics would be like, the top 10 cities in the world, so these are very easy to put together. You can do them very quickly, and they are not as complex as other form of infographics. One of the most complex form of infographics, style of infographics, are mixed charts. So this is the one you can see on the right. So this is where you will use a lot of different data method to show your content. But again, I think that list infographics are a great way to start. Timelines as well are a great way to start. So we can move on to the next slide, if you will, Paul. Okay, so yeah, so now how to create an infographic. So this is a kind of a four steps process that we would use to create an infographics. First, obviously, you want to kind of maybe start by referring to the types of infographic that we just discussed, and try to start with that and find a topic that could go in your niche. I would advise that when you find your topic, I would actually start with the headline, so if you have an idea for a specific topic, write it down and then try to work it out into an attracting headline. And for this, I recommend a course from Copyblogger, which is called Magnetic Headlines. And if you go to copyblogger.com, you can find the course there. It's a free course on how to write headlines. And I would start with that because I think that what also makes an infographics popular is the headline that you're using. So, if you can, you should always use like numbers in your headline title for your infographics. So like 100 ways to do something, and that would really help in getting your infographics to get shared. And the second recommendation I could give you to find the topic would be to go to a site called Visually, which is visual.ly, which is a kind of marketplace for infographics. But the great thing is that they have a great search feature where you can search through about 50,000 different infographics submitted by a lot of different people. So let's say your niche was dog training, so you would go to visual.ly, and then in the search box just put dog training and do a search, and you will get tons of examples, and that can really help you, to get some inspiration on your topic. And finally, another way to find a topic would be that let's say that you run a blog, maybe you run a website and you have some popular articles. Usually, if you take one of your most popular articles and turn it into an infographic, this would work well. And that's a very easy way to kind of recycle your content. If you have some very good content that's working very well with your audience, whether it's an article or a video, just use that and recycle it into an infographic. So that's step one. Then step two, obviously you want to research some data. And your best friend, in this case, is Google. So let's say again, your topic is dog training, right? So you would go to Google and just type something like dog training statistics, dog training facts, dog training figures, and just write down any interesting piece of data that you might find and that you could use in your infographics, because data is very important in infographics, right? And if you can, you always want to write down your sources as well. So the next step would be to get some illustrations. By illustrations, I mean like pictures and really like images that really fit your niche, that you could use to kind of illustrate your infographics. Obviously, you want to try to find illustration and images which you have the rights to use, right? So images can be pretty expensive if you buy them from websites like iStockphoto.com and so on. So what I recommend instead is to go for Creative Commons kind of licenses. There's a great website which I often use myself to find images, which is called Photopedia. And if you go to Photopedia, they have a Creative Commons search feature, and you can search for images which are freely available. So I would try to to go for something like that. Try to use images that you have the rights to use. Obviously, if you're an instant infographics customer, all the images inside the softwares, you can use them freely, so you have the rights to use those. And once you have your images, so just put everything aside, and so you have your topic, you have your data, you have some images that you can integrate into your infographic, and then you can start creating your infographics. Obviously, we would recommend you do that with instant infographics presence, and then you can get sharing, so you can share it on places like social networks, like Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, rather than just sharing it at random from your account. which is a good start. I would also try to get in touch with influencers in your niche. So again, if you spend a couple of days creating a great infographics on dog training, I would try to go to Twitter and find the kind of the influencers in the dog training niche. So the people who have the most followers, the people that share great content, and I would get in touch directly with them. Send them a tweet, send them an email, connect with them on Facebook. And tell them, I created this great infographics, and would you mind sharing it? And also, I would contact bloggers as well, because bloggers are always looking for good content to share. So, if you can get in touch with them and tell them, I have this great infographics, would you like to share it on your blog? They will probably be very, very happy to do so for you. So again, what I would do is not just, try to, share my infographics everywhere, but really try to zoom down, on my audience and find the influencers in my niche, and I would go for them. Because if you can reach 10 influencers, you can usually cover a lot of your niche with minimal effort. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the system we would go for. Let's move to the product demo, if you will, Paul, before we take questions and so on. So I'll do a quick product demo. Um,
Okay, I'm just going to make you.
of
You ready? I'll make you presenter.
Okay, okay, no problem. So let me know when that's on. Okay, can you see my screen?
You need to. Ah, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, is it working for you? Can you see it?
I can. Yeah. Um,
Is
yeah.
everyone okay? Can
Yeah.
everyone see it? Yeah.
Everyone's okay. Brilliant.
Yeah, so I just wanted to show you a quick demo of the software. So if you're familiar with our products, what we do basically are what you see is what you get, kind of online graphic softwares. So everything on the screen is always draggable and movable. You can edit any text, so you can just type it in. And we have a few built-in fonts as well that you can use. You can change the size of any text layer, like I can show you here. And of course, you can undo and redo, any actions if you want to, if you made a mistake or if you want to choose something. We also built a lot of very cool backgrounds that you can use, and we're adding more to it. We released the software on Tuesday, and since Tuesday, we've been getting a lot of feedback. So we're taking that into account to, pretty much improve the software and add to it. There's also things like borders, so you can change the borders to, whatever borders you may want to use. And one of the coolest feature is that we built around 500 graphics inside the software. So again, these are graphics that we created specially for this software. So you don't have to worry about the rights. You can use those freely. And if you see something that you like I did here, I just clicked on it, and it appears on my canvas. Um, and you can delete your layers. You can bring forward or send backward any elements on the canvas. You can duplicate them as well if you need to, duplicate an element or an image or text layer. You can preview your graphics. So this is a feature we actually implemented today. So when you click on preview, you can see a full view of your infographics. So that's a great way to kind of get a glance at what you're doing. And obviously, you can upload your own images. That's a very popular request. And you can save all your designs. So the use of the save feature is that, let's say you're working on your infographics and, you need to go out and do something else. Then you could save it, type the name of your infographics and come back later to edit it. And when you're done, you just want to download it. So you can also change the height of the infographics. The width is about 600 pixels. We had a lot of people asking us what is the width of the infographics. It's about 600 pixels, and as I mentioned, there's a ton of built-in graphics that you can use. So I won't demo them all for you now because it would take a while. As you can see, we built a lot of them. But if you go to instantinfographicspresence.com, you can see a demo of these. And if you're a customer already, if you go to the members area, you'll be able to access the training material, which has, demo of the software. And for our upgrade customers, we also built in some templates. So, I mean, if you just purchase the regular access to the software, you'll have two built-in templates, which are the first two templates here. And to activate them, all you need to do is click on them, and they will load, and your template will load, and then you'll be able to edit pretty much anything on the screen. And what we did for the past 2 days is that we've been adding even more templates for our upgrade customers. So I'm going to show you a couple. This is a template that we actually added this morning, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of I would say like a modern style infographic. So again, very good. And what you can do is simply edit anything in real time. So, you can customize this for your niche and edit things around, delete things if you don't need them. You can add more graphics, you can move stuff, and that's pretty much the template feature. I'm going to show you a couple more. That's another template we added this morning. Again, very, very nice, very clean, very modern. And yet another one we added today, which is pretty good as well. So these additional templates, I think there are about between 16 and 18 additional templates, can be accessed if you purchase the upgrades, which give you access to all these templates. And we're even adding, I think we'll be adding more today, and over the weekend we'll be adding probably between 5 and 10 extra templates. So again, these look great, and if you haven't bought the upgrade yet, you really should, because I mean these are very cool. So that, I guess that'll be pretty much it. Unless there's questions, we can come back to it in a bit.
No,
But if you,
I think that's great, Bertrand. And I've put the
yeah,
links to anyone who hasn't got instant infographics presence, and I put the main link there. But I've also put in the upgrade link because lots and lots of people are saying, "Can I
okay,
still upgrade?"
yeah,
And
yeah,
yet, yeah, I mean, we're still keeping the upgrade link open. This whole launch closes on Tuesday night, so that's where everything will be disappearing. So, and if you want to jump in, then jump in now. I've got lots of people saying,
yeah,
"I already got the upgrade. Many thanks. I love the templates." Um,
yeah,
Kenneth
yeah.
saying, "I love your work, guys." Yeah, no, I appreciate. And I know Bertrand really appreciates your custom.
Oh yeah, I do.
A
And
couple of questions,
yeah,
Bertrand.
yeah,
Just people just asking
go on.
about the sizes of the
Yeah, sure.
infographics.
Yeah. Yeah, so the size, so the width is about 620 pixels. I think it's 619 pixels. And the height is actually it's up to you. So if you can see at the bottom of my screen, I have, a button that says 2300 pixels. That's the height of my infographics. And if I want, I can change that to, like 1800 pixels, and I would press the enter key, and this would pretty much cut my infographics around 1800 pixels. So the height is customizable. The width is about 600 pixels. So it's pretty much formatted for the web. right? Because we had a few people asking us, can I print these into like posters, like for or flyers, for offline marketing? And unfortunately, you could not, because the resolution, as I say, it's ready for the web, but it's not ready for print. If that makes sense. Is there any other question, Paul? You can see.
Yeah, so a couple of people are asking some great questions here. So some people are saying, can we use the templates as our own if we upgrade? And if I'm right, then you do because you get full developer license, so that they're yours.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can put your
yeah.
own
They
brand,
they are
your own
pretty much.
logo. Yeah, you put your own brand, your own
Yeah,
logo on them. Just a tip there, it's really important that at the bottom of every infographic, yeah, put your domain name. Yeah,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
make sure you do that because that's what you want to make sure that's quite prominent so people know where to go. Okay, um, and it's like stamping it as yours. All right, which
yeah.
any of these you can do. All right, because they're yours to keep. And so,
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question that we've been, if you don't mind, that we've been having, is that if they could use that, and of course you can use them, use these templates as is, so you can pretty much take them and publish them right away on Facebook, or you can use the template to kind of have a base to build your own infographics. But again, you get all the rights. We always give full developer rights to all our software, so you can pretty much use them for yourself. Another question that often came up is, can we use them for clients? And indeed, you can. You can design these for offline clients or online clients and sell them pretty freely. Okay.
okay, a couple of other things. So people just asking what format if they want to upload their own image. Then I think is it JPG
Yeah.
and is it PNG as well
Yeah.
for their own image?
Yeah. JPG, transparent PNGs, and GIF images. We had a couple of people contacting us in the help desk this morning, like, because if you're using if you're uploading a GIF image, sometimes the white background will show behind the image, if you see what I mean, right? And that's actually normal. I mean, if you want the background to be transparent, you should use a PNG. And if you have an issue with these image file formats and so on, you can simply use the feedback and support button at the bottom here, and get in touch with us, and we will help you out. We can even create custom graphics for you if you want. We are very passionate about helping you as a customer. So any request you have, just let us know, and we'll do our best, to work it out for you.
Another question that's coming in, Bertrand, is about fonts. Are you
Okay.
going to increase the fonts for
Yeah,
people?
yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's a very, again, popular request we have. We just started with a handful of very good fonts, right? Because, I mean, these fonts, we pretty much hand selected them, so that they work with infographics, right? If you can see this font here, Lobster 2, very cool for infographics. But as you mentioned, a couple of people have been asking us, can you add this font and that font? And yes, we can. We can add as many fonts as we want, pretty much. The only thing, some fonts, there are some fonts that we can't share the rights of. There are some fonts which are not free, pretty much, that we can't give away for free. Like, if you take, for instance, End of Sean here, which is this font, pretty cool. This is a font that we actually bought a commercial license, so that we could give that font away to thousands of people. So we have a couple of limitations in that sense, is that we don't want to use fonts that you may not have the rights to use. But if you have any font request, you can let us know. And what we will do anyway, I think by Monday we'll add like all the fonts we can think of. So you can expect maybe 30 to 40 additional fonts, And if you have any specific request, you can get in touch via support, and we'll even add more. It's really not an issue. In terms of coding and programming, it's a 5-minute job, to add more fonts.
And I think
Yeah,
just to
hope
back
that
up
hope
that
that, that
just
answers.
just to back up that point, the reason why we don't put in 1,000 fonts is because if you end up with too many, they can make really difficult to make decisions. Believe me, if you
Exactly.
use
Yeah.
Word
Yeah.
or
Exactly. Yeah.
I use a Mac and I've got thousands of fonts, and
Yeah.
great,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
it just becomes a bit harder, to be honest.
Yeah.
And in fact,
It is.
that Hand of Sean one you just put in. I mean, Bradley, who's on the call, he was the one who
Yeah.
he just said I was the one who asked for. Excuse the
Mm.
noise in the background. I was the one who asked for Hand of Sean.
Yeah.
Bradley did, and Bertrand went out and bought it. So so it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
We want to
we
make
did by we actually I spoke to Sean, which is the creator of the End of Sean. He named the font after himself, which I felt was pretty cool. And I asked him what's the best way to use this font so that we can give it away to thousands of customers, like we're doing now. And we bought the right license for it. So a very cool font as well.
cool. Brilliant. All right, guys. So I've put in the chat box two links. As I said, one is for the main site. So if you haven't got in already, then you can jump in now. And there's the second link called the upgrade link, and that's where you can get all these templates. Which again, even more is coming in over this weekend.
Yeah, yeah,
And on
indeed.
just some people have asked, are the templates provided created by the tool? Absolutely. Okay,
Yeah, 100%.
they've all been
Yeah,
created by the tool. So we haven't like gone out to some great graphic
yeah,
artist and said design us some infographics. These have all been created
yeah.
using the software that you've got.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's not Photoshop, or it's just instant infographics presence,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
So as you can see, very very cool.
Cool. All right, guys. So, any more questions coming in? Now's the time. We're just going to go straight to Q&A, I think, Bertrand,
Yeah,
because
sure.
there's nothing else on the
Let's do that.
slides.
Could you switch back to the presentation so that I can have a look at the
Sure. Um,
questions?
let's just. Okay, so we're back to my screen now. And yeah, oh, there you go. There's the two
Okay,
links.
okay,
Okay.
we're good. Okay, cool. Okay, so there was a good question from Rebecca. She was asking, will you have a webinar on your other tools and softwares? I guess yes. Yeah, I'll probably do more webinars like this on our other softwares. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Okay. Let's have a look through the questions, see if I can
yeah,
answer them
yeah,
as
yeah. So
well.
let's take questions. If you have any questions, you can let us know. If you have any support request, I'm gonna type the help desk URL. So you can leave us any, if you have any questions or like support related questions, you can email us here, and we'll help you out. By the end of the day, we usually try to answer all emails within 5 hours. Um,
Russ
so
is
we'll get
asking
back to you.
a great question, which I haven't seen before. So, can you use infographics to make a video?
Yeah, and actually a couple of customers have been talking about that, and I think that Russ was one of them actually, prior to the launch, during the pre-launch. And yes, I don't see why not. I mean, you would just need to kind of use a screen recording software like Camtasia, or if you're on a low budget, you can use something like Screencast-O-Matic, which is something that I use myself. And you would pretty much like create your slides, with instant infographics presence, and then kind of, but you need to do like several recordings, so like part one, part two, part three, going down your infographics, and then upload it. But yeah, I guess that's something you could do. Yeah, it's something I haven't done myself, but I can see the sense in doing it.
Cool. Let's have a look. Can so I'm just saying, can I bring my own infographics into the software? Not as a. I mean, you can bring an image in, Anthony, but it, you'd be able to upload your image and obviously expand it by putting more infographics on it, if that would help. Um, but the structure of the way the images and everything is laid out is a proprietary structure which
Yeah,
Bertrand developed. So it's not something that's commercially available anywhere else.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much. I have a great question here from TK, and he's asking, basically we have a few like banners, and they are like numbered banners. So there's like 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think. And he's asking if we'll be adding more numbers so that people can, put like, 10 bullet points or whatever. And that's a great idea. And there's things that obviously we don't think of, and really we really count on your feedback to kind of help us improve it. Um, so yes, we'll be adding more numbers, and now I've taken note of your ideas, and I'm gonna paste a link here, and this is a link to our feedback forum, so people you can actually go to our forum and vote on feature and post your feature request, and then vote on the feature request that you want, and then we can look at it and push the best, the features with the most votes and that gets the most interest. So I pasted the link in the chat.
okay, brilliant. Okay, any more questions, guys? We've got about 3 minutes left, and so now's the time. If you've got the links, jump in now. We're going to shut down in 3 minutes. So, any other
Um,
questions
Keith,
in the chat box?
yeah, there's a couple. Keith was asking how much longer is this open? So I think we mentioned we're closing the special offer on Tuesday, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
on
Yeah,
Tuesday night. Yeah.
Tuesday night. Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff is asking a very good question. I just need to take that one. He's asking, can we make our own templates and then save them in the software? And indeed, yes, you can. I mean, you can create your infographics and then, save the design, and then, you can pretty much like reuse that template over and over again, even for other infographics, because there's a save and save as feature. So you could save your design, open it again a few days later, then modify it, to use in a different niche, and then save it as another name. And something that we didn't mention are the community features. So basically, if you go to your dashboard, you will notice there's something that says community feature under the software, and these are templates uploaded by people like you, and you can actually share your templates with other members of the communities. And it's a very, so for now, there's a handful of templates that people have shared on Instant Infographics Presence, but obviously with time, we'll have a lot more, and we hope the community can help, can help us really even add more templates to it, and make it easier for people to create their own infographics. So yeah, that's
Okay.
pretty much it, I guess.
Any so people are asking, can you make the infographics clickable? Well, not. The thing is, the infographics are actually an image,
Yeah,
so you can't
yeah,
make an image clickable in itself. You can embed it in an
yeah,
HTML page and make it clickable,
yeah.
but the image itself you can't. Another person's just asking. I can't find her now. A bit further back. Is there a manual? And I think
Yeah,
yeah,
there's training videos. There are training in the members area. Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Um, So is it? Let's have a look.
No, I think we have lots of questions. There's Kenneth asking me about a Facebook question. I'm not sure what the question is. If you can type that again, Kenneth, and we can,
I guess
look into it very quick.
one of the things
Yeah.
is people want to be able to resize for Facebook, um, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
how
Okay,
should
okay.
people go?
That's the one.
How should people go about that? I suppose it.
Yeah, okay, so Kenneth is mentioning that, yeah. Yeah, so we actually had a couple of tickets, I think yesterday about, so some people had some issues getting the infographics to display in full on Facebook. It's something we're looking at it right now. So I guess you can ex I mean I couldn't give you a really clever, solution right now. So best thing is I'm gonna look into it with our UX designer, and we're gonna do some tests of our own this weekend. And by Monday we'll give you, because that we are meant to create a tutorial on sharing infographics on Facebook. So we'll add that by Monday to the members area, and so we'll address that for you. So just bear with us. We're gonna look into it for you, and we're gonna get back to you on that. That's okay.
Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you have any more questions, I'm just gonna type the help desk email again. So you can email us, and I'm gonna be doing support for the next probably 2 or 3 hours. So so I'm gonna be replying to you personally if you have any questions. So just drop them here. I just sent it in the chat, and drop us any questions, and I'll take care of it for you. Thank
Okay,
you.
we're getting lots and
Yeah,
lots of thank you comments and great product comments,
yeah,
and I just want to say thank you to you guys as customers for giving us the feedback. It's really helpful to let us know that we're on
yeah,
the right
sure.
track. So Bradley's saying thanks, guys, great product. Ken is saying thanks, Bertrand Paul. Um, thanks very much. Big thank you from Ross. Thanks, guys. Um, so
Yeah,
we've got
thank you for coming.
we've got another
Yeah,
another webinar on Monday at the same time, where we're going to be
yeah,
taking the whole topic of content. So this infographics is an area within the content marketing niche, if you like.
indeed.
So it's an area, content marketing, which is very popular nowadays. And on Monday, we're going to be doing another webinar, which isn't so much focused on infographics, but focused more on content marketing and curation. Okay, so if you've got any websites that you need to create content for, then do join us for the next webinar, and we'll go through some techniques for curating and creating content for your websites. Okay, so if there's nothing further, Mary Louise is saying, do we need to re-register for Monday's webinar? No. So if you're registered already, and you should get a reminder for Monday's webinar anyway. Okay. So Colm is saying I've got a great signal for a cafe. Thanks. Sorry for the background noise.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a good cafe. All right, guys. So lots of people saying thanks very much. Um, good. All right, guys. So Bertrand,
Okay.
over to you. Anything else that you want to add?
No, I just wanted to thank everyone for coming on the call today and bearing with us. It was really great, talking with you about this software and infographics. And again, if you have any questions, just get in touch. We are both very accessible, so we'll help you out. So thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And
All right.
I'll see you and speak to you on Monday.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah, and yeah, please come on Monday. It's going to be a very good one about content marketing. So that's going to be very cool with myself and Paul again.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.